everyone. This is Steve Weintraub with Collider. We are here at New York Comic Con, and I'm thrilled to be with everyone with The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol. It's a very long title. Have we figured this? Have we discussed this?
We have a lot to say.
I'd be like, it's a very... Wait, what am I missing off camera? What happened?
Nothing.
Well, no, you need to share. Come on.
No, I'm watching your sound guy try to figure out what this noise is.
He knows what that noise is. He knows.
I was like, watch it.
Right. You got, just next time, hold up a little bit, so because I want your fans to actually hear what you're saying. Just throwing that out there.
Are you sure?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are
Good.
you?
So have you done your panel today yet or no?
No.
What are you actually showing at the panel? This is going to run after.
We are showing the first 14 minutes of episode 4, which airs on Sunday. The episode airs on, so it built. This
is running after. Yeah.
So it builds up to the moment where they first reconnect.
And the panel's only 15 minutes, so it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
It'll be great. We have 1 minute to answer every question.
15 minutes.
No, the panel's only 12 minutes.
Right.
So it'll go 2 minutes over.
Well, first of all, I really want to, I'm watching, I am a fan of Walking Dead, and I've been really enjoying your show. And I really think it stems from the fact that you guys are in a new, France. And I think that not being in the same Atlanta forest again and again and again has really added to it. I keep on joking. Everyone in this room has probably heard me say that. But talk a little bit about what the new location has done creatively, because I really think it's just energized the show.
Go ahead. You want to take that one?
No.
No?
I mean, I could. There's a poetic, artistic history to the locations that we're shooting at that add a lot to the show, not just visually, but there's lines in the show that talk about we've survived these type of things before. There's it's really old. There's a lot of steps.
A lot of steps. A lot of these locations are just turn into characters themselves.
Yeah, totally.
Well, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and the uniqueness of the locations just to give challenges to the actors or to the characters and that's why they're chosen, because some of them are just hard to get around and some are a fortress and create.
Right. A lot of the task for us from the very beginning was sort of imagining something we could do that would be beautiful visually, that would be distinctive from The Walking Dead, and then building characters and stories around those places. Mont Saint-Michel is an obvious example, but even trying to build a sequence at the Louvre, which was in last week's episode, the catacombs, trying to think, how can we get to these cool places that feel nothing like a dusty forest in Georgia, and then how can we build characters and story that justify that and make sense in that world. So that's the way, that's the way in which we try to make the show feel different and new. These guys obviously are characters that the audience is very familiar with and loves. So there's a connection to the Walking Dead legacy, but that part is the part that sort of makes it feel fresh.
Color palette changes, where we were just dripping in sweat in Georgia the whole time. Now it's super windy and the atmosphere is different.
And the way we film it is different, and that's led by all our directors, including Greg, but Dan Percival, who's done a bunch of these episodes and did the first 2. And, he really said he came at it with a different, very European sensibility. He's British. And so that also helped sort of enhance the ways in which the show visually and in terms of vibe is just different, than The Walking Dead.
I'm curious for the two of you, what was it like when you were presented, when you heard France, when they were said we're going to go to France to film, were you like, get the F out of here? We're not going to France.
I don't know about you, but I kind of stopped for a second and I was like, wait, what? I was like, first I was thinking Daryl Dixon would have never thought about going to France, much less maybe he might not have even known where France was. But it took me a second to figure it out. And then it seemed so insane that I was like, yeah, let's do that. But I think, it was announced that we were doing this show, or that phone call that we got about this show was before the flagship show ended. So I think, at least I thought, we would take a trip and then go back somehow. You know what I mean? Back to the original show. but yeah, I was sort of taken aback at first.
Same. The last place on earth I ever thought that the two would end up. I thought maybe New Mexico, because we had mentioned it in another episode that's a place that we might end up. Yeah.
I definitely want to ask you a question. What has surprised you about making The Walking Dead that perhaps you didn't think going in?
Well, I mean, it was definitely unexpected in my life, you know. I thought I was just going to have a casual life, and then 2 years ago,
It got ruined.
Casual life.
it did.
Just a
because of
casual
all of them.
life.
And no, but I mean, I got a call. I was in Greece spending some time with my grandmother and my family, and they said, come back to Paris, we have a casting for you. And I've never done theater or acting, and they liked it, I guess. I mean, that's why I'm here, right?
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
That's why you're here.
I mean, yeah, and I mean, I'm really happy to work with all those guys, and we've had a lot of fun.
That's not what Daryl says.
No, when he came
Just a
in,
hater.
when he came in, I was like, "That's the kid." Like without a doubt, that was the kid. And David can attest to this. I was like, him. It's him right off the bat.
Yeah, we did. We had a few good actors come in, including Louis, and we don't really do this that much, but we brought them in and they worked with Norman. You know, we did the scenes, and then we improvised, and we went off the book, and we just said, let's just do the idea of the scene, but just use whatever words you want. And yeah, we came out of that, and Norm was totally sold on Louis, and it was pretty clear that was. It wasn't just that Louis was so good in and of himself for that character, but also there was a dynamic between Norman and Louis that just was you can't make it up, you know.
I'm going to run out of time sooner than I want, so I just have to ask. You guys are currently filming season 3. Congrats.
Thank you.
What can you tease, if anything, about the 3rd season? I have not seen the finale,
It's
so
in
I don't.
Spain.
I knew that part.
Eventually, it's in Spain, but there is an interesting stop in between France and Spain. That's pretty cool. That's pretty exciting. I mean, it's already been announced, so I think I can say it. But Stephen Merchant is in the first episode and plays a very interesting character that we come across towards the beginning. And then in Spain, we have a totally different vibe from France, which is really cool. And we get kind of into a little bit of a Western vibe, you know, a little bit of a spaghetti Western vibe, and the colors are different, and it's sandy, it's dusty, and it's windy, and we're in this town that's very complicated, and and we have an amazing cast of Spanish actors, really great cast.
I'm assuming in the show there is a reason. I haven't seen the finale yet, so I'm assuming there's a reason where everyone's like, we need to go to Spain.
Yes, absolutely. Well, there's a reason they end up in Spain. Yeah, there's a reason they end up in Spain, and the end of the finale also explains where they're headed at the end of season 2. That is the beginning of connecting all of that.
So I'm hoping that you guys get to do more than season 3. But for you guys, like, are you thinking about how this show could sort of explore Europe? Like, you know what I mean? Like, season 3 is Spain, season 4 is Iceland. Like, is this even in your mind, or are you like, we need to get back to America at some point?
No, I never thought about it when we first started, because, you know, you never know how many seasons you're going to do. But when we were in France shooting season 1 and then we went into season 2, there's so many unique cultures to explore, and each culture brings a whole new identity to the show, because the characters can't help but be steeped in what the culture was in France and what the culture is in Spain. So it's a unique opportunity to see what those cultures are historically, but then what they've become in the post-apocalyptic world and how they survive. Because it's really, the show's always been about hope and survival. And the thing that I love about Daryl and Carol's characters is they bring hope to the people that they meet. Anybody that they meet, if they're in trouble, Daryl's going to help them. Carol might lie to them and get on a plane,
manipulate them,
and then she'll ultimately help them. It just she gets what she needs first, and then Daryl, you know, I mean, sort of. But
you know what? It's also interesting, which is what also happened in America, is that different groups of people need to believe in something to get through the day. You know what I mean? Whether be religion or wearing a dead person's face on your face. Like, they have to believe in something to get through. So to have these different places around the world to figure out what they have to believe in to get through the day, you know, like if it's religion or whatever, is kind of fascinating as well.
I'm just curious, is it, if you do get a season 4, and would you continue in Spain because like you've built the infrastructure, or is it sort of like, do you know, like, have you already thought where you could go if you get to do another season or 2?
Those are things we're talking about and thinking about. They're definitely considerations, and there's various versions of that. You know, we could do some more in Spain. We could move on to another place potentially. I do love the way that like we get to reinvent the show when we move from place to place. I think it's a great way to keep it fresh and to give new stimuli to these characters who have kind of seen and done so much. So there's all kinds of conversations about that, about what a season 4 might look like, and what are some other places the show could go. But we also love being in Spain, and there's a lot of story to tell in Spain. You know, right now we're just making 6 in Spain. So
I was going to say, I've been to Iceland, luckily, and I'm just going to say that if you can manage to somehow get there, it is like walking another planet. It's unbelievable.
That would be awesome. I've never
just
been.
pitching that idea, you know?
That's where Bjork lives, right?
Yeah, and also there's a bunch of bands, but when like Inception and a whole bunch of stuff
Death
filmed
metal
there.
stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Like, but a lot of stuff films there when they need to use another planet because it's just so unique.
I almost did. We talked about doing Death Stranding there.
Yeah. I think they want me to wrap, which is unfortunate. So I'm just going to have to stop and say that until next time. But, thank you so much for coming in. I hope you get to keep making the show as long as you want.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Cool. Thank you.